Hello, and welcome back to Unexplained Possibilities, Too Crazy to Believe. Here, I'm going to tell you a story, and on occasion, multiple stories with a paranormal twist. And it's up to you, the listener, to decide if the story being told is a true paranormal tale or something made up by us here at Unexplained Possibilities, and the story is just too crazy to believe. So, with that out the way, we present you a story titled The Shisa. Linda is a 30-something-year-old real estate agent who, for the longest time, didn't own a home. She rented an apartment and, like so many of us, wanted to wait for that perfect place. She knew she didn't want an investment property. She knew she didn't want anything too big or too small. She knew she wanted a forever home, and it was taking forever to find such a place. That is until she went to view a new listing. The house was in a very nice part of town, quiet street. The yard wasn't too big nor too small. The house itself wasn't too big or too small. It was just right. As Linda approached the house, she felt herself getting more and more excited. Just from the exterior alone, she knew she had to have this place, not for selling, but to purchase for herself to live in. Linda excitedly enters the house and meets with the owners, who give her a tour of the property. Linda saw that they were motivated to sell and was even willing to price the house under market value to get it off their hands quicker. This was a dream come true for Linda. But was it too good to be true, she thought. "Why are you so eager to sell?" Linda asked the couple. The couple briefly hesitated before answering. "The house is haunted," they said. Linda's face soured, not liking what she heard. Linda was never a true believer in the paranormal, but she's heard enough tales about haunted houses to know to run away. A brief, awkward moment of silence arose, and what followed after was laughter by the couple. "We gotcha, didn't we?" they said, breaking the tension. The couple then explained that they needed to move in order to care for family members in another state who were having serious health issues. They didn't want to move, but they needed to care for their loved ones. Linda, seeing opportunity, told the couple that she'd buy the house. The couple looked at one another confused, and then smiled in disbelief at how easy and quickly they found a buyer in the very person they were hiring to sell the house. A few weeks had passed, and the house inspection showed that everything in the house was in perfect order. There were no issues, and Linda felt she got extremely lucky. Moving day arrived, and Linda went to her new home. The key was left under the mat. She picked it up and nervously unlocked the door and entered. To her surprise, the house was already furnished. In fact, it was the furniture of the couple's. They didn't take it with them. They left just about everything. Beds, tables, chairs, plates, glasses. The refrigerator was filled with food. It was personal items, clothes, pictures, things like those that were gone. Linda briefly wondered why anyone would leave so much behind. These items were top of the line and had thousands of dollars in value. Linda eventually would see this as a positive, as she now didn't have to spend money to furnish the home. She'll just clean what was there and use it. The items in her apartment she'll sell and have a little extra money in her pocket. It's a win-win. Linda did, however, toss out the sheets on the bed and replace them with her own. Linda was over the moon, and she was happy to spend the night for the first time in a place that she owned. Night came, and Linda was in bed, drifting to sleep, when she heard something fall over. She lifted up, but wasn't fussed enough to check out what fell, and instead laid back down. As Linda was entering sleep, she heard a snicker. Believing it to be her mind playing tricks, Linda ignored it and fell asleep. The next morning, Linda woke up with a bit of pain on her left forearm. She noticed a small scratch on it. She figured she scratched herself in her sleep and didn't pay it any more attention. What was on Linda's mind was the noise she heard last night while in bed. She looked around the entire house but didn't find anything out of place. However, she couldn't shake a strange feeling, a feeling of being watched. As soon as she started paying attention to the feeling, she felt a gust of wind hit her in the face. And then she heard a deep guttural laugh. Linda jumped back and looked all around. No one was there, and this laugh was loud and in her face. No way this was her imagination as she thought last night. Linda rushed to the kitchen to get some water and calm her nerves. However, before she could do that, a cupboard opened and a glass fell out. Linda jumps back and starts to panic. She thinks back to what the couple said. The house was haunted. They weren't joking after all. That's why they left in a hurry and left everything behind, Linda thought to herself. She was tricked, and now she's stuck with the haunted home. Her dream changed into a nightmare before her very eyes. Weeks had passed, and the haunting has only gotten worse. Linda has small scratches on her body. Things seem to break almost every day. The constant laughter is torturing for her, and she seems unable to get a full night's rest. And when she does get some sleep, she has nightmares that wake her up. Linda was appearing more and more drained each day she stayed in that house. She was reaching her limits. She was imagining taking her life. She was kicking herself for taking a too-good-to-be-true offer. She was supposed to know better. Whatever was there was driving her mad, and she needed to get away. Just get away, even if only for 10 minutes. Linda rushed out the front door to leave the house, but it wouldn't open. Linda got frustrated and angry and let out a scream and started beating on the door. "I want out," she demanded. Finally, the door opened and out she went. Linda had no destination, she just wanted to get away. While walking, she came across a town fair. She entered and roamed around a bit and came across a curio tent. There, she saw a weird statue that appeared to be a cross of a lion and a dog with an open mouth. The curio seller approached Linda and said, "You must need protection if the Shisa caught your attention." Linda remains quiet, and the curio seller explains to her that this Shisa is from Okinawa, Japan, and it wards off evil spirits. They come in pairs, one with an open mouth and one with a closed mouth. This caught Linda's attention. Not so much them coming in pairs, but the warding off of evil spirits. And again, while Linda was never truly a believer, her current predicament has made her think otherwise, and she's desperate. In the week since purchasing the house, she called a priest for a home exorcism, but she was denied. She asked paranormal investigators to help, but they never got back to her. She tried to follow online tutorials on how to get rid of evil spirits. She had saged her house so much she thought she was going to die of smoke inhalation. This did nothing, and now here she was, desperate and thinking that a stone statue of a crossbred animal could be of help. Not like it can get worse, she thought. Linda purchases the Shisa. Linda was slightly annoyed seeing as though she'd have to carry the thing back to her home, and it wasn't the lightest of statues. As she picks the Shisa up and is about to leave, she's stopped by the curio seller. He tells her that they come in pairs and that she has to take his partner or else he'll be restless. Linda tells the guy she'll come back later for the second Shisa and begins her walk back home. Linda makes it back and walks in her house with the open mouth Shisa. She almost immediately feels a gust of wind hit her face and the door slams behind her. Linda sighs and goes to her bedroom. She places the statue in front of her bed facing the door, then gets in her bed and goes to sleep. As she's drifting off, she hears a roar, but she's too tired and over everything to care. Linda has a dream about a shadow figure chasing her, only for a strange animal to show up and devour that figure. Linda abruptly wakes from the dream and notices the Shisa has turned from facing the door to facing her. This scared Linda, for she was sure she had it facing the door. But she started to second guess herself and dropped the issue, mostly because she was feeling good. She found no scratches on her body, and for the most part, she got a full night's rest. She can't remember the last time she had that. Linda left out of her bedroom, and she wasn't hit by a gust of wind seemingly from nowhere. There was no laughing, growling, feelings of being watched. The house felt empty. Empty in a good way. This Shisa thing, it was actually legit, she thought. Over the next few weeks, Linda became her old self again. She was happy, she looked good and healthy, and she fell back in love with her home. And while it did seem things were normal, that wasn't quite the case. Linda moved the Shisa statue from her bedroom to the living room for decorative purposes, and that's when she noticed odd things happening with the Shisa statue. From time to time, when she walked by, she would hear whimpering, and the statue would turn and face different directions by itself. One of the most alarming things was somehow the Shisa moved from the place Linda had it to the front door as if it were trying to leave. So Linda decided if it wanted to leave, it could leave, and she places the Shisa outside to the front side of the door. Linda was over all this haunted stuff and was expecting the Shisa to be gone. It wasn't. Instead, when she went to check on the Shisa, it was facing a different direction than how she originally placed it. It seemed every day it was facing a different direction, and she couldn't understand why or how. More time passed, and Linda started having dreams about the Shisa, but only in the dreams it wasn't a statue. It was a living being, and it was two of them, and they would chase after her, and if they caught her, she'd be devoured and then wake up. This went on for several nights, and it started to affect Linda. She was becoming more exhausted, scared to go to bed, fearing that the hauntings would start once more. Linda would then go outside to the Shisa, asking it what it wanted. Why wouldn't it just leave her alone? She had reached her breaking point and was ready to take the Shisa to the dump to get it out of her life. As she picked it up, she was hit by a memory. It was what the curio seller had told her, that the Shisa comes in pairs. Linda had figured it out. The Shisa wanted its partner that she had neglected to go back and get. The Shisa turning was pointing in the direction of its partner Shisa. Unfortunately for Linda, the fair was long over and long gone, and she didn't know how she would ever get to that statue. Even if the Shisa she has points in the direction of its partner, there's no direct way of getting to it. Linda thought for a moment and figured out what she could do. Grabbing a phone book, Linda searched for the city hall number and dialed it. She figured she can get the information from the county clerk about the fair and where it would be next. However, Linda didn't notice the time and everything was closed, so she had to wait for the next day, which annoyed her because she knew she was going to have one of those dreams again of her being chased. Sure enough, she was right. The next day, now bright and early, Linda was able to put her plan into motion. She was on hold for a while, but she finally got the information she needed. The fair was a few counties over and not tremendous ways away. Linda gets the information and rushes out the door. She takes a quick look at the Shisa and is pointing in the direction she's about to head off in. Without wasting time, Linda gets in her car and starts it up and heads out. Linda arrives to the fair, and sure enough, she spots the curio shop and she enters. She's immediately greeted by the curio seller, who remembers her. "Welcome back," he says. "You're here for the partner, Shisa." It's been quite restless and lonely without his partner, you know. The curio seller goes to the back and comes out with a closed-mouthed Shisa and hands it to Linda. Linda takes a sigh of relief, happy the Shisa was still there. Linda leaves and hurries home. When she gets back to her house, she sees the open-mouthed Shisa is facing forwards as if to greet its partner, who Linda places on the other side of it. Linda looks at them both before smiling and walking into her home, hoping now everything will be peaceful. That night, Linda has a dream. She sees the two Shisa, but instead of chasing her, they're sitting and guarding her. Linda wakes up. She checks around the house. Nothing is out of the ordinary. She's feeling good. No scratches, nothing. She goes to the front door and checks the two Shisa, and they're exactly how she left them. Linda closes the door and is now finally able to enjoy her dream house. And that concludes this Too Crazy to Believe story. So, what do you think? Is this truly a ghost of a tale featuring a haunted home and a statue that cleared away the mischievous spirits, only to suffer from loneliness itself? Or are we telling you a stone-cold lie, and this story is just too crazy to believe? Let us know what you think in the comment section down below, and be on the lookout for the answer to this Too Crazy to Believe will be up in a few days. And if you haven't done so yet, be sure to hit the subscribe button for more Too Crazy to Believe and other great content. Also, don't forget to follow Unexplained Possibilities on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, and Instagram. Those links can be found in the description. See you in a few days when we find out the answer to the Shisa.